GM. So, we got a new character in this game. Two of them, actually, but I'm going to talk about one of them today. And that one is going to be the new SSR Plume. So, everyone knows that she is extremely busted. She's really, really strong. And the reason why she is strong is because this is the game's very first strip into defense break. Okay? This game has not had that. It was either you defense break or you stripped. Now we have both. Okay? And that comes in Plume, our peacock lady. So let's take a look at what she does very, very quickly because I've already done a deep dive onto it. And so let's go to the prowess where, you know, she is 555 max skilled. Okay? Because not everyone has a max skilled. And so her S1 is just a one stack of Curse Quill, but it is AoE. All her attacks are AoE, so you have to pay attention to that, okay? Because if you're talking about synergy, let's say in RTA or PvP, okay? You're going to AoE every time you press S1. Number one, you're going to trigger a lot of counter attacks. Number two, you cannot pair her very well with Kazuyo. Because you are going to sleep a unit and then our Peacock Lady is just going to wake them up, right? And so what is Curse Quill? Curse Quill is her main debuff where, you know, it stacks forever. As long as she's on the field, if anyone does any debuff, she is going to, you know, increase that Curse Quill stack up to 10 stacks here. Okay? And so what Curse Quill is it increases damage taken by 6% and reduces speed by 30 up to 10 stacks. So you're going to take 60% more damage and you're going to lose 30 speed. This is not a percentage. This is just straight minus speed. So if you are 300 speed and you have 10 stacks of Curse Quill on you, you are now 270 speed. That's the easiest way to put it. Okay? This effect cannot be purified or transferred. This is permanent. Alright? Her S2. Now her S2 is the main bread and butter of what she is. Okay? Number one, whenever an enemy uses an active skill or triggers a passive skill, for every one debuff inflicted to the enemy unit, there's a 100% chance to inflict one stack of Curse Quill. Anyone except Plume can only put one stack of Curse Quill. As long as she's on the board, if you debuff anyone, they are getting Curse Quill. That's mainly it. Okay? So you can take it with a bunch of debuffers. You can even take it with, like, let's say a Yelly, a Hoyan S1 wound. That will all put Curse Quills on your opponent. Okay? Which means you're going to stack this up very quickly. And then eventually they're going to get to a point where they're going to take 60% more damage. And they're going to be slower by 30 speed. That's what her S3 does. Okay? Besides that, there is a second part where, you know, after an enemy takes action, Plume increases all turn meters by 8%. Alright, this is nice because it's anti-cleave. Alright, if the cleave moves, every time a cleave unit moves because they need to take the entire rotation first, and if they do, that's how they win, that's how cleave or aggro plays, and that's how they win anyway. If you are playing Bruiser and you have Plume in your team, you are just going to slowly creep up the turn meter but a lot quicker than you would have. And there is a chance you might just cut into them, you know, with the help of Lighthouse, with the help of Reaper Steps, all that kind of stuff, and just ruin their day. Because if they cannot get their full combo off, they lose the game. And that's what Plume does for you. It helps you cheat speed. Amazing, amazing stuff. This way, you know, aggro is not this one-all, be-all. At the same time, Bruiser is also not the one-all, be-all format. Okay? With Plume introduction, if you have Plume, this is what happens now. If you can play aggro, but if the Bruisers has Plume, it's going to be quite difficult to fight them, and the opposite. Okay? Let's go to S3. Now, S3 is the main attack that you're going to be doing a lot, which is 3 hits of 110% damage to all enemies, which is basically 330. 45% chance to dispel 1 buff, and 45% chance to inflict 2 turns defense down and 2 turns weakness. Weakness is a new debuff where your damage, where the damage dealt is going to be reduced by an additional 25%. Okay, this stacks with Bloodbath. Let's just put it out there, right? So, This is how you're going to strip. Every hit has a chance to strip. She hits 3 times. That means she is almost guaranteed to always strip your buffs. Then, for every time she hits you, there is a 45% chance you're getting defense broken and weakness. So, her odds of landing her debuffs is extremely high, even without ridiculous accuracy. Okay, because it's 3 hits. Don't forget that. Alright? That's her main skill. Now, how do you build her? Because, let's be real, this unit has trivialized PvE, has trivialized every single main boss that we have said, nerf, please. Okay? So how do you build her? Quite simple. I'm going to talk about in 2 ways here. Number 1 is going to be PvE. Number 2 is going to be PvP. So let's look at PvE first. Alright? With PvE, this is how I built her. Okay? You can see that I just have her to move as one of my first units. Okay? As long as she moves and then strips all the buffs, put all the defense down, their weakness, all that stuff, that's all that matters. Okay? How do you get there? I don't care. Try and find a way to just make her to be one of your main units to move first before your damage dealers. That's all that matters. Okay? Effect accuracy also matters, of course, so just get that as high as possible, but after that, that's it. If you're using Plume, chances are you are already doing a one-shot comp. Okay? Put Codex of Magic on her just in case shit goes south, and you need her to do, an S3 again if the rotation comes second. Funny story, using Codex, that means you can do Doki Doki with her. Okay? I'll show you all the runs at the end. That's how I've had her built. What about PvP though? Now with PvP, there are 2 ways you can build them. Okay? This is what I have on her. Okay? I don't have her extremely fast because chances are you're never gonna get Plume. Alright? And if you ever get Plume, chances are she's also going to get banned, so there's no reason putting your best speed gear on her. Okay? She's not very fast. Not very fast. She's about 332 speed. Alright? I made her have a lot more bulk than usual, even though she's on speed bulwark. And that's because I want her to survive as long as possible. And with weakness, that is more than enough for her to survive, in my opinion, along with Curse Quill. That way I'll do more damage eventually and kill them. Right? Bulwark is because I know I'm not very fast and I don't want them to CC her because I definitely want her to move. If you take your first turn and you try to strip and I cut because of her passive, I still get press my S3. Doesn't matter. Now, why Jackal Guard? Because Jackal Guard does damage for me. Okay? And so we all know what Jackal Guard does. It does 240% highest plus 4200 damage, applying 3 turns speed up, and increasing my turn meter by 25%. So she's gonna move like this. Okay? And that's what I want because I wanted to quickly cycle by herself without any help to get her S3 back up while doing damage while putting on Curse Quill. That's how I want to play her. Alright? Attack's relatively high here. Or high-ish. Because that ramps up with her, Curse Quill. Right? The damage amplification there. Effect accuracy don't have to be super high. Like I said, she is quite guaranteed to land shit. Okay? And that's how I have her built. So, let's take a look at some of the runs that I have done with her. Starting with Grim Pursuit, Nikon Nana, I can show you guys, this is what I use. Okay? This is the team that I use. Lily, Lilium, then Fornil, and our new girl Plume. All you really need to do is make sure that, you land the defense break, she puts up the damage, and then go from there. Okay? There is an argument that you don't even need Lily anymore. Okay? But let's go. Alright, you can see we'll land all of the stuff. Now we'll put up the Rhyme, Bloom, and attack buff. And then we're just gonna go straight in and then nuke almost 90% of the HP down. Okay? And then that's it. This Nikon Nana is dead now. Right? See? Now I just go in for round 2, stack 2 more stacks of Curse Quill, and go from there. Okay? You can get attack up, that's fine, but eventually it's going to die. Look at that. That's it. GG, right? The only one you can't use her in is in Sharon, and that's because Sharon cannot be debuffed. So we'll move on to Hoyan at this point in time, and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, this is the team that I use. All right, same thing, Lily, Lillian, Plume, and I'm using Silence to put Forgetfulness on the ads so that the ads don't counterattack. All right, this tuning here, ideally you want Silence to move first to put the Forgetfulness, but it doesn't matter. Okay. So this is what the run looks like. Now we go in to Hoyan, nuke them, nuke 50% of the HP. And then now we reset and then we do it all over again. Alright? 2 more stacks of Curse Quill goes up. And then I'm gonna go in for a second nuke. And by this second nuke, it's basically GG. Alright? It's GG. There you go. Alright? Trivialized. That's Hoyan. Now let's move on to everyone's favorite, Wrangle. Everyone say nerf Wrangle. Everyone say nerf Wrangle. Wrangle. Too hard. Wrangle. Too hard. Nerf Wrangle. You don't need to nerf Wrangle anymore. You don't have to. You have Ninfonio and you have Plume. You can use Yelly here. I'm using Yelly here. And with my Lily. And this is what the run's going to look like. Okay? You can see my Plume will always move first, put down the defense break, put the weakness, put the curse quill so I do more damage. And then Nymphonia will go and buff up my Yelly. And then Yelly's just gonna go straight in for the kill. Right? That's 2 hits. And the reason why I like using Yelly here and not Lilium is because there are gonna be 3 darks. And every time, you know, an element moves 4 times, Wrangle will counterattack. So Yelly here is probably better because I'm already using Plume as my dark unit and Lily. Okay? But this is more than enough. Look. Just look at this. I'm not even trying anymore. I'm not even trying. Wrangle just dies. Okay? 51 seconds. 51 seconds. And now we'll move on to the most important one, which is Chloros. Everyone knows that Chloros is new, so let's take a look at what he does. All right, this is the team that I'm still using. Okay, this is the team that I'm still using. You have to land defense break on Chloros to do things, and so this team also works. If you can clear Wrangle with this team, you can clear Chloros with this team. All right, let's take a look. Those 2 will always move us no matter how fast I try to speed tune it, so don't worry about it, okay? So we go in, we take away we strip everything away. We do the same thing, we put the buffs up, and then Yelly's gonna go in for the kill. See? No damage. Now we are going in for round 2. Okay? This Rhyme Bloom shield is more than enough to, you know, protect us for 1 more round before we come around for the health equalization from Nymphonia. And you can see I'm low rolling the living shit out of Yelly's follow-up attacks now. And it doesn't matter at all. I'm low rolling. You can see I'm low rolling. It's just gonna be a little longer. Just a little longer. But you clear it ultimately. Okay? 1 minute 4 seconds. If I, you know, high rolled Yelly, I would have cleared it in like under 50. Okay? And so that is how you play or use Plume in your PvE. But PvP, I will cut it. I'll cut it here. I'm gonna play some replays at the end there for you to see how I use her in Fearless, and in RT I just started climbing. But if you like this little guide here on how I use Plume and what my thoughts are with her, make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe, tell me in the comments what you think about Plume. And I'll catch you guys next time.
私を求め私に従いなさい